Hi guys, it's Jessica. This is my labor and delivery video, so I'll just jump right in. I was induced at 38 weeks. I got to the hospital on August the 2nd at around 4 in the morning. They hooked me up to Pitocin. My birth plan was to do it all natural, with the minimum amount of drugs and interaction as humanly possible. But that didn't happen, so I did get to use the birth ball for about 5 minutes, and they have to continuously monitor you when you're on Pitocin, which sucks, so you're pretty much stuck in bed. Yeah. And it took all day on the on the 2nd to get to, past 1 centimeter. By, let's see, 3:30 on the 3rd, I was at 4 centimeters, and they broke my water at 1 centimeter, which freaking hurt. And then I felt zero pain, nothing at all, period. No cramps, no, nothing, basically. I could not feel the labor. It was there because they had me on the monitor, and they were spiking up to the 80s and 90s, and some were even in the hundreds, and I couldn't feel them. I guess I'm just one of those lucky ladies. Anyway, on the 3rd, at 4:20, they rushed me in for emergency C-section. Her heart rate spiked up to 220. They said I had an infection called choreo. I don't really remember what they told me that was, but I think it's like an infection inside the uterus or something. I don't know. It just like swells up. Basically, my uterus just swelled. I think that's what it is. I'm not for sure. I guess I should have done my research. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. While I was in labor and I couldn't feel anything, my nurse kept pushing the epidural on me. I was at 1 centimeter and did not see the purpose of getting an epidural when I could not feel anything at all. I had a twinge here or there, but I couldn't feel anything. So, to shut her up, I let her give me some kind of pain medication. And she went and got pain medication and came back in because I figured I'd want to sleep. So, she gave me Stadol. She was just going to put it in my IV and not tell me what it was. She gave me an entire syringe of Stadol, put it inside my IV, and I was knocked out for the rest of the day until the doctor came in at like 6 that night and asked me whether I wanted an epidural or not to get things going, and I just like, well, can I have a minute? So I talked it over with my fiance, and he's like, yeah, just get the epidural and we'll see if that relaxes you enough. So I did. I got the epidural. I hate needles. So I told the anesthesiologist not to tell me what he was doing, just to do it. I told him just to tell me when the first one was coming, and then after that, don't tell me anything, because I don't want to know. Because they have a giant needle. So he did, and by that time, yeah, poor nurse got cried on. What else happened? Oh yeah, and after the epidural, every 5 minutes, I got it at like, I think 10:30 on the 2nd. I know I'm scatterbrained in this video, I'm sorry. But 10:30 on the 2nd, I got the epidural, and every 5 minutes I woke up and puked. There was nothing in my stomach except for stomach acid and water. I threw up a lot. And I don't like throwing up in front of people. Thank goodness I was knocked out and I couldn't. I don't remember half of what happened. I can remember bits and pieces. Anyway, where was I? Anyway, at about 4:20, they came in and checked me. Said I was 4 centimeters dilated, but her heart rate had shot up, so they wanted to do an emergency C-section. And I didn't say no. I didn't say yes. Whatever, because I was asleep, passed out. Yeah. So I remember waking up and nobody was there except for my fiance, because I had my mom, my sister, my fiance's mom, and my brother in the room with me, and my fiance. I remember waking up, nobody was in there but my fiance, John. And then I remember getting wheeled down the hallway, and John was beside my head to the door, and then after that, I remember these two ladies telling me I had to move over from my bed to the other bed, which if you have an epidural, you know what I'm talking about. You can't move because you cannot control anything below your waist. Nothing. I, on the other hand, could move my right leg. My left leg, not a chance. It was dead weight, and it was very heavy, and I hated that feeling. Anyway, so they put me over on the operating table in the OR, and I passed out. I went to sleep. They didn't even have to strap me down or anything. Fire truck. Anyway, they didn't have to strap me down or anything. What else was it? Okay. And then I went to sleep. I don't remember. And then I remember bits and pieces. Anyway, and then I woke up again because they threw something over my face. It was a blue cloth. And then they got it off my face, pinned it up, and I was out again. The next thing I remember was waking up, and Jonathan was standing beside my head, and he just walked up to me. I looked at him. I didn't know who he was. That's how out of it I was. He said, "Hi, babe. Are you okay?" And then I knew who it was. It was hilarious. I was laughing in my head. And then I was gone again. And then he woke me up like 2 more times. He woke me up and asked me if I could feel them poking and pinching me. I did feel them. I could feel what they were doing. I couldn't feel pain, but I could feel what they were doing. So I said no. And then I was gone again, because I figured if I just said no and went back to sleep, it really wouldn't matter anyway. So, I gotta hurry up. Anyway. Yep, I went back to sleep, and then the next time I woke up was when my daughter was born, and I heard her cry, and then I passed back out. And then another time, Jonathan had to wake me up to tell me to breathe. Scary. And then I woke up in recovery, and those people were fantastic. I love those guys. It was cold in there, but it was awesome. I didn't get to see my baby until 9:30 that night. No, 9:30 that morning. What's the time? 9:30 at night. And then Jonathan left to go with our daughter to the nursery, you know, because we had this plan that if I had a C-section, he was to go with her at all times and not let her out of his eyesight. So he went to the nursery with her, you know, got her footprints and everything, and she was fine. And they put her on some antibiotics, and she was perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes. She was gorgeous. Um, let's see what else. Then they finally let him back in after I asked for him about 5 or 6 times. He brought me a picture of her. She was so beautiful, and I mean, I didn't go back to sleep after that. And then I got pushed to my suite. I had another bed in there. I had a gigantic room. I mean, huge, because I have a huge family, and they were all in my room. I loved it. Um, I had another bed in there for Jonathan because he was awake with me practically all night, and so was my mother. And I stayed in that hospital room for 4 days until they released us. It was hell on wheels, let me tell you. Awful. And my mom stayed with me. My mom stayed with me for 4 days in that hospital room while Jonathan had to work out of town. And yeah, that sucked. But he was back that weekend, and it was awesome. We went and got our pictures taken for family pictures. Um, I'll post that. I'll put that picture in another video. I didn't think I'd be talking about that. Um, my nurse sucked because I had her for both labor and postpartum. I disliked my nurse very, very much. She kept pushing crap on me and wouldn't let me out of the bed. Let me out of the bed for about 5 minutes every 3 or 4 hours so I could pee. She pushed me into crap that I did not want. And I told her no, and I even talked to the doctor in front of her, and she still made me do it her way, and I did not want it. I disliked her very much. Um, well, my daughter is waking up, so I gotta go, but I will make another video as soon as I can, which might be in a couple of minutes or so. So, I will, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.